Peace. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome, and just want to say this is Professional Cloud Developer session number 5, study jam. So tonight we're going to go over. Let's see. Before I go over that, I'm going to go to the next slide. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for all of our co-hosting GDG to helping us. So I don't want to. I mean, you all know the list. I'm just going to thank you all for that. And so this is session 5. Road to the Google Cloud Developer Certification. So I'm trying to go to the next. So tonight, again, we have a raffle tonight. It's going to be, we're going to pick 2 winners from the raffle. I think Roman, are you putting the link in the chat so that
yes,
everybody gets
the
that?
link is already it's already pinned to the chat. I'm going to drop it once again, but there it is pinned.
Yeah, it's been pinned up to the top of the chat.
Correct.
Okay, so my name is Kevin Kwan. So I'm a software architect. So tonight we're going to go over where we are in our journey. So we're going to go over integrating app with Gemini 1.0. Gemini 1.0 is a couple years old. The newest Gemini is 2.5 right now. So we're going to just, because the course material mentioned Gemini 1.0, so I follow the course material. The next thing we're going to go over serverless Firebase development, and then we're going to have a Q&A, and then we're going to go look over what's coming after this session. So where we are in our journey. So we're going to show this is where we are today. So last session 4, we finished streaming app development with Gemini coexist, and then develop container application and Google Cloud, and develop application with Cloud Run on Google Cloud fundamentals. So this week we're going to cover 2 courses, which is integrated application with Gemini 1.0 Pro on Google Cloud and serverless Firebase development. So the integrated app is Gemini 1.0 Pro. So 1.0 Pro, so we're going to discover the API and how we're going to be using it, and how we are going to be developing application using the API, and we're going to look at some of the generative AI model that's available to us. So Gemini Pro 1.0 API. So APIs, and we're going to talk about this API and this generative model. So accessing the 1.0 and Pro and 1.0 Pro Vision model, and testing the capability of the model with the text, image, and video prompt from an app. So this is one of the lab that actually show us how to do all of that. So I'm going to go over that a little bit in coming up this slide. So before I go over that, we would like to talk about Vertex AI. So Vertex AI is Google managed platform, allow you to develop your machine learning workflow, allow you to customize your AI model if you wish, and also it has a lot of pre-made model that you can use, and it had also something called AutoML that you don't need to have experience to use to create a model using AutoML. So as long as you have all your data, you just feed it into AutoML, and it will generate a AI model for you. So this platform provided a collaborative environment for team to share and use a common tool set. So basically, it's good for the design for enterprise to develop their application within Google Cloud. And then it has all the scaling capability of Google Cloud, so you can scale your application based on your application needs. Okay. So what is generative AI? So generative AI basically is a large language model that allow you to create new content, text, images, and code. So the basic workflow that you want to use is you can create and you can summarize and you discover and automate. So what do you mean by create? So you enter, for example, you can actually open a Gemini application. You ask us to give you you provide a prompt, then ask it to generate data for you, so it actually generates text for you. That's creating a text. And then you can actually feed the AI model with a PDF and ask it to summarize what the content of the PDF for you. You can discover, like, looking at video and ask it to analyze the video for you. You can actually use automation, the automation. You can automate your task using the AI model. So the generative AI model, the LM, the large LM, is actually trained with a massive amount of data. Gen AI model can be customized based on an application requirement as well. So if you find that you need a specific requirement for your application, then you can feed some data to it, and then allow you to customize the model for you. So here's some examples. So I talked about generate code from natural language description, and then create image caption. So you have a lot of images that you want to put caption, and some company, like the video editing company, they want to put caption on their video. The AI model can actually do all that for you. So answer the question about the content of image and video. There's also can generate different creative text format, like poems, code, script, musical pieces, email letters, and story. And we are very, in terms of like very custom, very keen to using the vibe coding. So when you go to Visual Studio or you go to some of the lab that we actually go to, the cloud editor allow you to use Gemini to generate code for you as well. So there are two models that within the Gemini 1.0 Pro. So two variants. So the Gemini 1.0 Pro is creating do a creative writing, and you create different text format, like poem, script, etc. And the Gemini 1 Pro Vision, so it supports multimodal, so the multimodal prompt, including text, image, and video. So it can actually generate image for you or generate video for you as well. So there's a Gen AI layer. So the layer that I'm talking about right now is at the very top, which is Gen AI applications. So this is where we are building our application, or we're using Gemini app. The app is actually sitting on top of here. So this layer is deliver the AI capability to user through the user interface. So this is the end user interface application, allow the user to interact with. I'm not going to go over. I mean, I can certainly mention about the agent, but this course doesn't cover about the agents. So the agent is actually this layer utilizes the capability of the model layer to perform more complex actions. This is something like you design an agent to solve some problem in your some problem in your workflow. You can actually integrate the agent with the app. Platform is more like the Vertex AI platform I mentioned earlier, and the underlying model, the large LLM model that actually is serving the applications. The infrastructure, that is the Google Cloud infrastructure, which is all the CPU and GPU and networking or whatnot that you need to actually supporting your applications. So I have some review question here that I'm going to go to. I only have 3 of them. So this is related to the Gen AI questions. So which of the following define generative AI? Is it A, is type of artificial intelligence that analyze existing data to identify pattern and make the prediction? Is it type of artificial intelligence that can create new content, including image, text, and music? This is a type of artificial intelligence that focus on automating the repetitive tasks and improving efficiency. This is a specific application like a chatbot that utilize AI technology. I think all of you who answered B is the correct answer. And next, so this one is a CEO is hesitant to invest in generative AI because they believe it's just a technology for building chatbot. Which of the following example demonstrate that generative AI can offer their business much more? A, counting the number of website visitor and their location. B, scheduling meetings and managing calendar to help employees improve their time management. C, creating photorealistic image of new product prototype based on text and description. D, providing generic response to all customer inquiry regardless of the specific issue. Yeah, you're right. For those who answer C is correct. C is the correct answer for this. So this is the last, I think this is the last one that I'm going to be speaking about. So which of the following describe multimodal Gen AI applications? Using Gemini in Gmail to write an email, using Imagen to create an image for a website. So Imagen is basically is another model that you can use to generate image. Using Notebook LM Business to summarize a financial report. Using Gen AI to analyze customer sentiment in video and testimonial and survey data. For those who answer D is the correct answer. Because you think about, because they're asking multimodal meaning video and survey data, it's like a text-based data. Okay, so how exactly that you actually integrating Gemini 1.0 into your applications? The first thing you have to do is basically you have to install the client SDK. In the lab, that's actually, I'll go over the lab in a minute, but in the lab, it doesn't actually directly talking to the SDK. And then create Google Cloud project. You must have the Google Cloud projects. You have to enable Vertex AI API, and then you have to create developer key, and then you have to create multimodal prompt. You have to create a prompt, and then you can interpret the model's response from your applications. Okay, so because this 2 courses are mostly focused on the lab, there are not a whole lot of content within this 2 courses. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to share my screen with Visual Studio Code. Let me see. Where's my Visual Studio Code?
Are you going to do it through Visual Studio Code or
I'm trying to find my app.
Cloud Shell editor or
Visual Studio Code?
Okay, good. By the way, can you get a little closer to the mic? A few people are complaining about low sound, so Yep.
Okay, is it better? I'm much closer now.
No, that's okay. It's just the sound a little low, but that's good. Thank you.
Let me see if I can crank up the volume. Where is my sound input? Input, volume. Is it better?
Yeah, I think that's good. Just just keep that the
Okay, this is
facing the
better,
mic,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right, sorry about that. I'm looking, just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, yeah, I found it. So I'm going to share the screen. Let me see if I can control plus plus. Come on. It wouldn't let me increase the font. Oh, wait a minute. It's not control. Is it better? Bigger?
That looks good.
So this is the lab that actually we went to. I don't know if anyone have done this lab, you probably remember. I mean, basically, they're using something called Streamlit. So Streamlit, so if I type Streamlit, so this is a application builder using Python. It is, if you go to streamlit.io, so and they have a playground there. You can actually write Python code, and this Streamlit foundation allow you to create a web application by coding in Python. I mean, right now it's so basically, if you look at this line 2, it's actually importing the Streamlit object, and the Streamlit basically allow you to create the web application. So first thing it does is I'm going to skip all the logging. So basically, the logging that allow you to log into the Google Cloud environment, and this is how they after checking your progress. So they're looking your log in the progress and then checking your whether you're actually completing your task or not. And then loading the Gemini model here, and he used the project ID in Vision here. So actually, I'm using my own Google account and to provide my project ID in Vision, and then this is the Gemini Pro and Gemini Pro Vision that we're going to be using. So this lab is actually going to it and creating a different tab. So if you look at here, you say you create a 4 tab: tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, and tab 4. So tab 1 is basically the generic text prompt. I think marketing prompt. I think it's a marketing prompt, and then no, the second one is its generic prompt, the engine, looking at what's the character, things like that. And then the other one is generate a marketing campaign prompt. And you see the prompt is actually go to, and then they go to it's render the UI, and then it actually submitting the prompt somewhere here. And then tab 3 is actually looking to analyzing an image, and then asking asking you to find, asking the AI model to figure out what the image is doing here. So you consider following chair. So this is the prompt, and then tab 4 is the analyzing video that's submitted to the applications. So the way that I have to run the app is I think it's one. So you just do a Streamlit run apps. So Streamlit is a Python application actually run. It's actually run this app. So if it run, it's going to create the app. So I'm going to share my screen of the app actually running. Where is it? I have too many tabs. Okay, Streamlit. I think this is it. Yeah. So this is the application story. The first one is looking about the short story and long story, and then I don't know if it's going to work with my Google project. But let's try. Actually, I had a problem with it. So actually, it said this API method. I got the same problem. So I probably don't have the building correct in my account, so it won't run. This is marketing campaigns. And this is the image playground, video playground. I messed it up because it crashed.
What if you go to the actual lab and then try it?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that.
If you could do that, it doesn't take that long. I think just see if you could do that. Otherwise, then just starting the lab, and then that way people could see also, how straightforward it is if you just like try it.
If I go to the lab, wouldn't it mess up my completion?
No, of course not. Of course not. Yeah. You think it's gonna like take it back, like or read? Not. You still keep your passing.
I have to go back to my path.
If not, then you can continue. That's okay. Yeah. Or you could do it, and then I can do it here on the side, and then show it to people later.
So Firebase. Firebase is a managed platform by Google Cloud as well. So you can develop application using the Firestore database. This is what they're talking about. So it's a serverless platform for developing your applications. You can actually host your application on there as well. It provides authentication. I mentioned database is Firestore. And then it's also provide cloud function if you need it, and analytic and machine learning. It used to be just a www.firebase.com, but now I think it's renamed to Firebase Studio. But you can access this Firestore directly in Google Cloud. And that's what the lab is actually doing. You access the Firestore, you import the database, and then you create an application from there. So this is sort of like the first three labs they're talking about. You're hosting. I mentioned you're hosting your application in Firebase hosting, and then you utilize Firebase authentication to support the login, and then the application is talking to the backend to the Firestore. So there's 4 labs in this course, and the first 3 is basically go to the step-by-step creating this applications. The last one is the challenge lab. In the challenge lab, and let's see if we can go there. I'm gonna have to switch the tab again because maybe I'm just gonna go to. I'm gonna switch it to a different tab. So I go to my dashboard and look for this again. Okay. So this is the first lab that we have to do. It's a little slow to bring it up, so it's not coming up right now. I don't know what's going on. Try again. I don't know what's going on. It's not loading. It's not loading. Not happy today.
What is not loading again? The
lab is not loading.
Oh.
See, it's X on my browser. I gotta refresh.
Yeah, but refresh the whole thing again. Refresh the whole thing, and then do it again.
Yeah.
And this is the which one is this? This is
the first one. Develop a serverless application using Firebase. See, so the first thing basically you import the data to a Firestore database. The second one, you develop the app application. Oh, now see, it takes a while. It takes a little bit.
Oh,
so
okay,
basically,
yeah.
In this lab, you run the Node.js application. You have to basically create all of these and then log in, and you set up your cloud shell, and then you write code, and then you download the code, pet theory, and then you basically run an import the data into the Firestore, and that's this whole app right now. So and then you go to the next one. Why is it so slow?
It is slow. I'm trying it here also on my end, and it's quite slow. This specific lab, like I just clicked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it is very slow. Dino say, okay, see you later, Dino.
Try the build a serverless web app with Firebase, the other one, the second one.
Yeah, I am
trying it, and yes, like some of them
I'm clicking on
are updated. And the reason I think is because they upgrade. Yeah, some labs have errors. That's correct.
The new version is here. You said there's a new version.
But remember, even if you remember, when you upgrade, they don't invalidate your completion.
Yeah. I don't want to upgrade.
Which is okay, but that's fine. Yeah. Just want to, I'm clicking also on my side. And
yeah, it's not doing tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the code. I download the code.
Yeah, try showing the code, and then I think the demo demons are against us tonight.
I'm sure I can load up the code. Something went wrong. Oh my God. Pet theory. So this is the code. You can see. Hopefully you can see this. I think the first one is probably lab. I think it's lab 2, but if you look at the solution. Oh, it's not lab 2. Is that lab 1?
Yeah, try the lab 1.
Create test data. So this is create a test data. This is import the test data from the CV, this CV Excel file. So read to it. But the first thing you have to do, you have to create your Firestore database first. Remember Firestore is basically just a document database. So you import it into a name value pair. So the data that you import is in name value pair. because I don't have the data right now, so I cannot really show. But basically, this is what it's doing. Is parse the Excel file, the delimiter, and then you write to the database, and for each record, you write to the database. And then it just comes some logging to the console, and that's it, and exit. The other one, so the other one is
try it again now.
Okay.
Try it again, Kevin. Like try going there now in the import data to a Firestore database. Click it. I think it could have been like some hiccup in the server. Well, not the server, but
it's still hiccup for me.
It's still okay. Yeah, continue with the code. Then continue with the code.
Yeah, it's not working for me. So there's a front end app, and then there's two pieces in this application. In the one of the applications, I think the third one, that you have to develop the front end app, which is this one. So the index this is the Node.js application. So and it's when it's do a list. This is a listening report here, which is your HTTP listening on the port 8000, 8080. And then they have a Docker file that you remember when you deploy your app. This one is actually need to deploy the cloud one. You have to build a container. So that's why you have a Docker file here. So it allow you to build a container and then deploy the app. So where's the index? This is just the HTML file. I'm not gonna. There's some assets here. There's the app.js. This is the main app. And then this is the API, the REST API. So it has one route. Just go to /ear, and this is the route that's actually respond. And DB collection basically allow you to get the Firestore data out of based on the release year, and then return the data to you.
And you also have to enable CORS, just like in Lane 31. Yeah.
So that's pretty much. But the challenge lab is a little bit time consuming, but it's basically follow the same step, and you have to follow the step to do a cloud build, create a container, and then do a cloud deploy to the cloud run application. And those are the steps that you have to run through it.
The cool thing is that Firebase right now, actually deploying to Cloud Run and connecting it to Firebase is pretty seamless now. And building like containers using G Cloud build is like really, really easy.
Yeah, it's really, really fast. But, I somehow Cloud Group Boot it doesn't respond right now. I don't know what's going on. But I think that that's all I have tonight. I don't, there's a lot of lab in this 2 course. There's mostly focused on developing application. When you go to the lab, you get the experience of how you actually developing application on using Firebase and Firestore. All right.
Cool. Does anybody have any questions in the chat, for Kevin? Are you blocked by anything? Even though, remember, we use the office hours for unblocking folks, but does anybody have any questions for Kevin around the session? Remember, this was focused on Firebase. We were doing also what was it?
Yeah, this is focused on Firebase and then deploy to cloud run.
Exactly. Integrating applications with Gemini, of course. Yeah, Gemini is pretty cool, and how you can use. But you see how the labs, for example, focus on one thing, but the vast amount of resources out there for Gemini are humongous. Shafan was mentioning model garden. You can use Vertex AI on the Google Cloud. You can use Firebase AI Studio, Firebase Studio. You can use Firebase AI Logic, which is like the API to actually talk to Gemini from, let's say, Flutter. There's like so much cool stuff out there. But yeah, does anybody else have any questions, for Kevin around some of these topics? Otherwise, then we'll proceed right into the. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Shafan mentioned the Gemini CLI. I did a little bit of Gemini CLI last session, and yes, you do get 1,000 free requests, so it's pretty cool. I love using Gemini CLI right from the command line. You can actually install the Cloud SDK, and you have Gemini, and you can bring it right into your Visual Studio, into your local environment. So it's pretty good. Yes, and the Gemini MD file. Yes. Oh, Shafan, you should be doing this session, man. You the really good stuff. Definitely, we invite you if you want to share, drop some knowledge on Gemini and AI, large language models. Yeah, but the Gemini MD file, that's the cool thing. In order for you to keep the context and to kind of like if you're building really things that require keeping the context as you're building stuff, that is very useful. So totally, yeah. But yeah, okay. So Kevin, anything else before we move on to the raffle? I'll give everybody again.
No, I think I'm done. Yeah.
30 seconds. Thank you again, Kevin, as always. Kevin is always given his expertise to us here. So please drop him a round of applause for Kevin. Just drop a little,
Thank you.
and all of that. Of course, here it is.